So I've been doing therapy for over 15 years, and sometime around maybe like 10 years ago, I started to work with men, particularly, or I would direct my marketing that way, right? I would like try to find clients that I resonated with, that I feel like I could help. So I did that, and so working with men for like specifically for like 10 years, probably longer than that because I was working at the VA, working with veterans for 5 years prior to that. But the thing that I was going to talk about is that there is something very much that comes up, and it's not just for men too; it's for women. So I want to be clear. But with men and the clients that I had, this question of like, what are feelings for would come up, and either they'd say it, and I think most times they wouldn't say it. They would like kind of hint to it, or it would be inferred like, what's this thing going on with emotions, like why do I have to process them, and I'm doing therapy, right? So if I'm doing therapy, like I'm helping you with your feelings. And to be honest with you, working with clients has been uh, if you're not a therapist, I don't know if you're gonna get this complete, but I'll explain it. Like, you're actually learning and growing with them by just being in the presence of their issues and problems because you're reflecting back, right? And one of the things I noticed was I wasn't completely in touch with my feelings either, and I wanted to be, and I understood why it was important. Like, I got that like in my mind, like I could understand that. And the thing is that um, when we're asking that question, we're going back to a fundamental part of being human, and that part is that um, there's got to be a bigger purpose with what it is we're experiencing in the present moment, right? And so collectively, what have we done with feelings as we try to become present with them, right? In our current state of being, and our issues and our circumstances or whatever, and we either fight them, we flee from them, we hide from them, we try to numb them with alcohol, drugs, you know, you name it, right? Achieving, attaining, distracting. We also blame, right? Circumstances. We blame other people. We become the victim to other people or their circumstances. We blame ourselves, right? We've done everything possible to try to deal with our emotion and our negative state other than actually facing the emotion, because we judged it and we said negative emotions are bad. I shouldn't have to feel these negative emotions. They serve no purpose, right? Kind of like you've got DNA, it's not being used, it must be junk DNA, right? Or like there's certain organs in your body that serve no purpose, so we'll remove them. But I think deep down what we understand is like everything serves a purpose. And our emotions are obviously no different. And I wrote a post the other day here on Facebook, and it just the quote was just simply, your salvation is in your perceived enemy. So within your perceived enemy is your salvation. So your peace, your stability, your joy, your freedom are within facing what you perceive and what you judge as bad. And the reason is because you start to, when you face it, you see it for what it is. You see it for the illusion that your mind has created. So with like negative emotions, the illusion we create is that they are somehow bigger than us, they're more powerful than us, they're going to harm us, destroy us, they're going to keep us from something that we want, and shame is a big one, guilt especially. But the reality is that when we actually feel, and this is what I learned over time, when you actually give yourself the space to feel your emotions, you will catalyze that experience and that energy into something where you learn about yourself, right? You see that there's nothing that you're feeling that can actually change who you are. And collectively, we're seeing this too, because how much anger, blame, resentment, violence can be projected until we see until we see our own shadow of our own negative experiences. But when we don't judge those experiences, we just see them as negative energy, we can actually catalyze them with love and positive acceptance. And I don't mean to say that, and it's not like a kind of like airy fairy way. What I mean is that there is no other way to move through those things. And as long as we keep doing that, we're going to find ourselves in the same situation, right? We're going to find ourselves separate. We're going to find ourselves wrestling with negative emotions, blaming ourselves, blaming other people, holding on to resentments, working ourselves to death, proving ourselves to death, because that's the only thing that we can do when we don't accept the negative emotional energy that we have stored in ourself and in our body. And until we do that, I guess we're going to keep on learning that same lesson. But there is another way, and hopefully you'll find this video helpful. I probably need to introduce myself and what I do as well, which I should have done at the beginning, but I didn't. My name's John. I've been a clinical mental health therapist for 15 years. I'm now a coach, and I help people find out what they're capable of. And if you're interested in more about how I can help, I'll drop my link in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.